kill shit. 6 feet.
Alright, 6 feet going deep. It's Torius with
LJ Smooth. Yeah.
Alright, LJ. Why don't you tell us about what you do?
So I'm an artist, R&B, Afrobeats, pop, a little bit of hip hop sometimes when I'm feeling like it. But yeah, I'm just an artist, play some instruments and make good music.
Facts. So you're from the Virgin Islands, right? We were just talking about?
Yeah, straight out of the VI. I've been born and raised in the VI. So I was born in St. Thomas, grew up in Tortola. I've been here for like 10 years now in Miami. So yeah.
How is it different being from the Virgin Islands to coming to like America?
I mean, it's a big difference. You know what I mean? Like just being around more people, first of all, more square feet. I mean, Tortola, where I grew up, was 24 square miles. So, it's small. Everybody know everybody. Everyone's in everyone's business. I feel like in America, there's more opportunity to grow. There's more opportunity to succeed, whether in music or whatever you want to succeed in. So, that's what I like about it. Different cultures, different vibe and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Is it easy to get in trouble out there?
In the Virgin Islands? I mean, yeah, everyone's in your business, so it's easier to get caught, I would say. Here in the States, it's big. It's you could roam, you could do whatever the fuck you want. So, yeah.
Do you have a lot of friends out there, or do you feel like it's easier to make friends over here?
I mean, here in the States, I got acquaintances. I would say more acquaintances. Back home, more friends, because you know them, right? You grew up with them. You've been through things with them. Here in the States, you can meet someone, you vibe with them, but you don't necessarily really know them. So I would say acquaintances. I got a few friends, but I know a lot of people. Yeah.
Now you do music, so you definitely meet a lot of acquaintances, right?
Yeah. Facts.
Well, how easy is it for you to trust people that you just meet that you vibe with? You're like, yo, you make music, I make music. This nigga would do something,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm always down for collaboration. I'm always down to meet people. Trust is something that takes time, I would say. But you move, in a way to where you're really getting to feel somebody out. But I'm always down to make music. I'm always down to collaborate and make some magic. So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
How do you make time to make music?
I mean, I feel like you make time for what's important to you. So. For me, music is important, so I'm gonna make time to make it at all times. So you can see here I'm set up with my little desk, my little studio here. So when I'm feeling a vibe, I come here and put down some ideas and hit up my producer and see what we can make up.
Is that virtual DJ?
Nah, this is something called Luna. Actually, it comes with the Apollo. So it's like a new platform, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I was looking at that because I wasn't sure what DAW it was.
Yeah, it's Luna. It's called Luna. Mm-hmm.
Is that the only one you use, or is it like a specific one?
Well, I used to use Pro Tools. I've used Logic Pro. I use a few different things, but this is the latest one that I've started using, and it's very easy to use, very easy to understand. So I like it so far, definitely.
So when you work with other artists or like other engineers, and they're using like different, you say you have a background in Pro Tools and Logic. Is it easy for you to communicate with them when they're using something that you're not really familiar with?
So that's a good question. I mean, in the beginning, it wasn't easy to communicate. It's like I'll be like, I want to hear this song like underwater. Like I want to sound like this. I want to sound like that. And it'll take some time for them to understand what I'm saying. But the more I work with people, and what I like to do is work with the same people like I could vibe with, you catch that energy with, where it's easy for them to understand exactly the song I'm looking for. So in the beginning it was harder, but now I feel like it's becoming more easier, especially as I'm working with the same people all the time.
Is there a certain standard of quality that you have for your music?
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I would say I have OCD, just in general, whether music or no music.
Perfectionist?
Yeah, I like things to sound a certain way. And until I have that, it's hard to feel satisfied. So, getting things to sound the way I want it to sound is definitely important. And the people that I work with, I want to make sure that, they have that same kind of, they put in that same kind of effort in the music and carrying the music. because that's where the magic happens.
So when you're trying to figure out, is this song over? Is this song finished? It's done. I can let people listen to it. What is your, like, I would say, like, your sauce to, like, know this is what I want people to listen to when, like, what I want them to.
So if I make a song and I constantly I'm repeating it and I'm listening to it over and over, then I know then it's ready to go. I want to feel like when I'm finished with a song, like I want to hear it every day. I want to hear it all the time. And if I have that feeling about it, then I know, okay, all right, it's good to go.
Mm-hmm. Is there any difficulties that you have in making music, or like in the maneuvering through the music industry?
In making music, sometimes obviously you get writer's block. You know, sometimes it's good to be around other folks where you could bounce ideas off of and stuff like that. So sometimes that happens, but you know, step away from the art and then come back, and then you should be good. And then in the music industry, I feel like in Miami, sometimes it's hard to find good people, like producers and stuff like that. I mean, you got to make an effort to go out and collaborate, but I feel like it's hard sometimes to find people you could rely on and you could get shit done with. So I would say that's the challenge. But right now, I think I've found, you know, some people that I'm working with that it's been going smooth. So I'm happy.
So when you say rely on, are you talking about like engineers not sending you their track?
Your people track? Not sending me stuff. People saying they're gonna send it in the next 2 hours, the next day, whatever, and it's taking forever. Or you know, I mean, art, it takes time and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we all got goals to meet. We all got deadlines to meet, and you know, if I'm relying on you as a business, because that's what it is at the end of the day, then, you know, I think it's important that, you know, you stick to your word and stuff like that. So sometimes it's a challenge, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you said that you would like have someone bouncing ideas off of. Mm-hmm. How do you like make music the best? Like by yourself or with other people in the studio with you?
So I would say in the beginning, I definitely felt like I preferred it to be by myself, you know, in my own comfort zone. I don't got to worry about maybe I'm sounding this type of way, what somebody's thinking of how I'm sounding and stuff like that. But as I continue to create, you know, music is just expression. So, you know, I kind of free up my mind on worrying about what people think and just do what I got to do and just let what I'm feeling speaks, right? I mean, everybody's not going to like your stuff. You know, it's going to be different. Everybody have a different perception, but I've come to the point to where once I'm making my stuff, it's like I just make it and that's it. Like what comes out, and that's it. So right now, I don't mind being around people making music. It doesn't matter. I could be here by myself, or I could be around people and, you know, make the same type of vibe. So the energy got to be right, though. The energy got to be right. Mm-hmm.
What got you started making music in the first place?
You know, growing up, you know, my pops playing them old vinyls, you know, Bob Marley and all that stuff.
You got vinyls?
Well, I got a little vinyl player in there, but, you know, listening to Bob Marley.
That's an original?
Yeah. Listening to Bob Marley with my pops and him singing around the house and all that stuff is really what got me into it. You know, he put me in like piano classes, guitar classes, all these classes from a young age. I played the steel pan, which is, you know, island thing. Yeah. So I was playing those stuff from a young age, and you know, I wish I took it more serious when I was younger. So I think I would be much further.
It's funny, at that time we don't think like, oh, this is good. Yeah. Amount to anything.
You don't think that stuff. It's just like, oh, my dad want me to do this, I'm gonna do it type stuff.
Yeah.
But looking back, it's like, damn, if I really like put in more of an effort, then I could be doing this and doing that. But everything happens for a reason. You know, I'm getting back into it.
Yeah, like we were talking about with the guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember all the stuff that you knew how to do before, or you had to like start from scratch?
I had to start from scratch, right? Dang. So I don't remember all the stuff that I used to do, which sucks. But yeah, I don't really remember much. I mean, it's kind of starting from scratch, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm picking up real quick because again, that thing is like.
Did everyone play instruments, or was it rare to have someone in where you're from playing instruments?
No, we got a lot of musicians where I'm from. Like I would say, almost everyone played instruments. I mean, growing up in the church, I grew up in a church, so everyone's playing something. Either the drums, I used to play the drums too, piano, guitar, whatever. Like everybody around me was playing instruments in the church, so it wasn't weird. It was normal.
Mm-hmm. What made you kind of stop playing guitar, or like stop like putting attention on the music?
Really, like I had this one instructor. I was playing the piano, and he used to sit right next to me, like I'm talking like close to me. And every time I played a wrong note, he would
No way.
hit me on the hand like a fucking. I mean, I was a little kid, but he ain't my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I took that like.
Did you fight him?
I ain't throwing no hands because I was raised right, but it's like that shit turned me off from playing music, honestly.
Dang.
So that's really why I stopped. I was like, I keep getting that, I was like,
that's crazy to think about, because when you first start playing an instrument, you make a lot of
you make mistakes, like. So you're gonna be hitting me every time I play the wrong note. Like I was
that's a lot of fucking hits.
Yeah, I'm like I'm this ain't for me. Fuck that. So that's pretty much why I stopped, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, music is more like body based.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you said, muscle memory. You just like feel the music and play.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, do you like talking about like what you do for work, or you don't? You kind of want to separate it from it.
Yeah, separated typically. But
because what you do is more mind based, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could talk about it briefly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you like better, like the feeling of playing music, or like using your thoughts in your mind to not only do your job,
mm-hmm.
but also like to meet your goals?
Yeah. So I do IT, for a living. I mean, music and IT. And in that world, in corporate world, obviously using your mind is more what you do. But what I think I have that maybe other musicians don't have, at least what I like to think, is like I bring the best of both worlds, right? In terms of, music is more of an expressive type of thing, more free mind, free thinking, just go with the field. But at the same time, I apply business acumen to it, and like in terms of meeting a goal, meeting an objective, and not getting too far off the rails with just expressing myself. I still have like project plans. I still have like timelines I want to meet. I still have like certain goals that I want to meet. So I take what I do in the corporate world, in IT, in structure, and apply it to music. And I know not every artist does that, so sometimes I find challenges when working with people, but I think it serves me well in terms of meeting my goals and my deadlines.
Because I was gonna ask if you're a fast learner, and also like when you do things that are primarily mind based, like what you do, a lot of times not for everybody, but it can make your music sound a little more like more robotic, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, that's true.
Have you ever? Yeah, like
I've experienced that before. Yeah, I've experienced that where it's more like.
Not saying your music is robotic.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. No, I have experienced that. I've had to tell myself, listen, like, you just gotta be free, express yourself, and it doesn't have to be systematic or perfect. Like music is an expression. So yes, at times I do find myself in the beginning, at least, being finding that type of issue, but I've learned to kind of let loose. I think I know how to balance both worlds now. But yeah, that could affect you if you let it take control. Sure.
Mm-hmm. What's something about music that has you locked on it right now that you weren't locked on when you first started?
I mean, I feel like
I also forgot that I asked you if you were a fast learner.
Yeah. So I would say I'm a fast learner. I would say, I hit even growing up playing music. I mean, I could read music, but I normally would play things that I hear. So I could hear something, and then I just go and I play it, and I just teach myself it. So I would learn things quickly without having to read the music and go through all these sheets and stuff like that. But in terms of like what, you know, I forgot the question. What was it again?
When you first started making music, there might have been something that you were locked on. It's the reason why it was your dream to make music. But now as you've gotten older, you come to the States, and I'm not sure exactly how different the culture is, but maybe you might look at music as having a different value to you and a different reward. So what is that difference? Yeah,
I would say in the beginning, you know, back home, you know, I think every young musician wants to be the next, you know, at the next big headliner, like a Drake or a Future, whoever, whatever. So, you know, when you first start, that's kind of like the goals and stuff that I had. Like, I want to be the next this, next that. But I've come to realize that music is so inspirational for all types of folks. Like, people that you don't even know. There's musicians out there that are big, like number one to different people, maybe in Brazil or Guatemala or wherever, and we don't know about them. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many musicians out there, so many people in the world that you could touch and inspire. So for me, more so now, it's more like I'm just gonna do what I want, because I know there's at least a couple 100,000 people that could resonate with what I'm talking about, you know? And it doesn't need to be like maybe on some crazy, you know, level. Like, I just want to put the music out. I just want to do what I feel and not try to follow any trends or anything like that. I just want to make what I feel, and what I feel is good to me, because I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that resonate and it touches. So I guess, you know, to sum that up, in the beginning, you want to be a Drake or somebody, but now it's more so doing what feels right to you, and then letting the folks that resonate with it, and doing different things like, you know, getting your stuff on movies, TV shows, those types of things. That's important to me, and that's kind of like some of the goals that I'm going for.
So seeing how Drake is pretty much at the top, and has been at the top for like so many years, right? What do you think it is that makes him still want to keep doing it?
I mean, you gotta love something to keep doing it for years, 10 years, 12 years, however long he's been doing it. It gotta be a passion for you. And, you know, coming from the bottom and achieving what you want, and looking back and seeing where you started and where you're at right now, that's motivation alone. Like, I think that motivates anyone. I think that's what keeps him going, along with the passion. And then, you know, you got people depending on you and stuff like that, right? And, you know, winning is infectious. So if you keep on winning, you're just going to want to win more and more. You're going to want more hits. You're going to want more this, more plaques, whatever. So I think those are some of the things that keeps him going, for sure.
What was your biggest win?
My biggest win to date is I've gotten my music signed to a few different kind of libraries, to where they're, you know, being considered for movies and TV shows. So I would say those are some of the bigger wins, because that's where the money comes. That mailbox money is what you call it. The money keeps on coming. But I've been in shows, like I've opened for like Rick Ross and some other big artists before. So I would consider those kind of big wins. But really and truly, winning for me is just continuing to develop and get better in my music, and being able to, you know, go out and make music and be able to put it out in the world. So at the end of the day, once I could continue to do so, I'm happy.
Who are some of your influences?
Well, you know, it starts from like some of the island guys, right? Some like, you know, Shaggy, maybe a little bit of Shabba, Vibe Cartel. Like, these are guys that I grew up on, listening to. And then, you know, if you talk about some of the stateside, like Prince, Sade, obviously Drake, Future, you know, people who I feel just express the way that they want to express. I feel like some of those names that I mentioned in the beginning, they were ridiculed for the way or the style of music they made, right? But today, if you listen on the radio and you listen on, you know, some of the younger guys coming up, they're all influenced by these folks. So, you know, people will criticize you in the beginning, people are going to say this, say that, but you just do you, stay true to yourself, and, you know, things turn out the way you want them to.
When you say that, it reminds me of one time when I used to record music. I was with my boys, and one of my boys was like, he was trying to pretty much sound like Young Thug. So like, you know, when you don't hear the beat, it sounds funny. Like it's like he's just and all my boys were like laughing. We were like, what the fuck is this thing? What's wrong? But then when we heard it back, we're like, yo, this shit's hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it goes, man. That's exactly how it goes.
When is the best time to listen to Sade for you?
Nighttime.
Night
like this. Looking out the window, maybe a beautiful young lady next to me, vibing, chilling, some candles lit, some romantic vibe, some smooth Sade in the background, and yeah, that's a vibe for me.
Gives me like a tattoo vibes.
Yeah, that's a vibe. Yeah.
What's your favorite like top? You know all her songs, right?
I know her songs.
What's your favorite song from her? No, I'm a big Sade fan. That's why.
No, that's not good. So, the one that I forgot the name.
Smooth Operator.
Not Smooth Operator is one, but the Sweetest Taboo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fuck with that.
That I fuck with that. That is like.
I was singing, but I can't those high stuff.
That's the top. That's the top for me. Smooth Operator is nice too. But yeah, it's just the energy, the vibe that you get when you listen to that shit is like just dope.
It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some artists that you want to collab with?
Growing up listening to Trey Songz, I feel like Trey Songz is like a smooth cat. Like, whenever I would have girls over in college, I would put on Trey Songz or whatever.
Crazy for it.
Like,
I see.
Yeah, I go. So yeah, being able to collaborate in there, with him would be dope.
You said The Game?
No, not The Game. Trey Songz, obviously Drake. Future. These are the guys that I listen to right now. If you had to think about some island folks, I would say people like Kuram is popping right now. You could get some good music. Yeah, those are the guys I would say.
How do you feel about Drake? It's like stealing the whole Island Boy.
Listen, I feel like
the
Canadian culture, right, is a lot of Caribbean people out there. I've been out there a few times.
You been in Canada?
Yeah, there's a lot of Caribbean people out there, especially in Toronto. So, that's where he grew up. That's what he know. That's what he sees. You can't knock the hustle, and it just shines light on the culture. It only helps us as Caribbean people, I feel. I'm not going to tell somebody what they can and can't do. Music, you can express yourself how you want to express yourself. So that's how I feel about it.
I think people were mad because there was a time where he went from Caribbean to Dominican.
With that Bad Bunny, Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually listening to that song yesterday. The same one?
Yeah, I like that song. Mia?
Yeah,
I like that song. Yeah.
What do you think of Drake's new album? Because everyone's talking
Well,
shit
I haven't really sat down and listened to it like that, really. But for some songs that I've heard, it sounds like some type of European type of vibe.
Like SpongeBob? I've only seen the memes, but I haven't
really listened to it. I've heard a few of them, but I didn't really dive into it. But I know there's a song there with 21 Savage where he's rapping, and that shit go hard. But the other stuff is I like diversity. I ain't set in one way,
The thing about Drake's music at least for me, is that when it comes out, it's all hype. So I don't really appreciate it as much. But then when you're like chilling with a baddie and you're just like, you know, she puts on the Drake and then you guys are chilling like later on.
Oh, now you realize it's like a vibe.
Yeah, exactly. So I always feel like Drake isn't the type of artist to just like, oh, I'm gonna just sit down and listen in.
Yeah.
So you gotta have that experience first.
Yeah.
And then while he's in the background, that's when you start. Because then when
those memories stick with you. Yeah.
Because when she's gone, I think you would like Drake and drive.
Yeah. When Drake can drive, dog.
Exactly. You ever think about that in your music?
I do. I feel like when I make my music, I try to write from experiences that I've gone through and try to put that in the music, and hopefully somebody could resonate with that. But at times I get caught up in trying to determine like, well, do people really go through these types of things too? I live a wild life sometimes, you know. I got wild experiences, but I could only speak from my experience in my music. But sometimes I get caught up in like trying to generalize it to force myself to see like what somebody else would experience. But then I have to remember, listen, the only way it would sound genuine and real is if it's coming from me, you know what I mean? Or at least someone close to me that I'm close to the experience that they've been through.
Did you ever take, my bad.
That's how I make my music.
Did you ever take a break from making music because you felt like you don't have enough experiences? So you're like, let me take a break?
No, I've never done that. No. Only time I take a break is if I'm having writer's block. But I feel like I experience different things every day in life, and I got shit to talk about all the time. It's just being able to articulate those things in a poetic or interesting way is what I would say can be challenging at times.
Do you feel like in your genre of music, it's a little narrow in the stuff that you can talk about?
Well, I do a few different things, so I wouldn't necessarily say so. I mean, I do pop, I do Afro beats, I do R&B, so I could switch it up. I don't think that I'm boxed into one thing to talk about. Although I guess, you know, like, I mean, my artist name is LJ Smooth. You know, I talk about the ladies a lot, but I've been trying to, you know, branch out and speak more, make a more conscious effort to speak about other things than just ladies, you know, speak about life, like conscious things, you know, where you can resonate with those things. So yeah, I've been trying to do that more so often than just speaking about the ladies all the time.
You know, they say, there's a saying that goes, if you rap about roses, they'll bring roses to your shows.
Yeah.
So you feel like if you rap about ladies
gonna come to, hey, I'm good. I'm all for it. Shit, I guess I'll continue to talk about the ladies then.
That's not a bad problem.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like making music, the business part of music, right? Because that's, you know, like making music for women is a good way to make money.
Yeah.
For like not only the artists, but like the clubs, the parties, you know,
merch, all that.
So tell me about what, like, I want to know your thoughts on like things that you know about that part. You know, like the actually
business thing.
Yeah, actually making money from music.
Yeah, I mean, listen, merch. I feel like it's bigger than just music. It's building a brand. Is how people perceive you, right? And honing into that perception, and then marketing that. That's how you make the money. You know what I mean? You can have music, but if your personality or if your brand is shit, then you ain't making shit. You know what I mean? So understanding your audience, understanding how people perceive you, or making an effort to have people perceive you a certain way is important for your brand, and honing into that is definitely how you know, make money from it, is what I would say. That's my perspective on it.
So give me 5, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Go ahead.
Give me 5 ways to make music. Make money from music.
Alright. The first, a lot of people be overlooking is sync licenses. getting your music in TV shows, movies. It's not as hard as you think. The second is obviously performing live, right? Work your way out, build yourself a little audience, performing live. You know, charge people to come in. What is $5, $2, whatever? It's some type of money. The third is at those performances having your merch on deck, having merch to be able to sell, whether it's something simple, whatever the case may be. 4, having an online store for the same merch, obviously if you're not in person, and promoting that online store to be able to sell different things. Find things that are relatable to people, that's not, you know, too expensive. And then the fifth, I would say, is getting out there and collaborating and networking. I mean, you're only as rich as your network. You know what I mean? Understanding who's in the business, understanding, you know, who you could collaborate with, who you could talk to, who you could bounce ideas off of, who you could gain knowledge from. That's all important. So, you know, just being in the studio all the time is cool. Yeah, you're making music, you're locked in, but networking is how you make that money, for sure, is what I would say.
Why do you think labels pay so much money, and why movies and TV shows give so much money to artists?
Well, as far as movies and TVs, I feel like it's easy for a smaller artist to make good money because these bigger artists, they normally sample a lot of their music. And they're sampling some song from somebody who sampled a song from somebody who sampled another song from somebody. And for music exec, music supervisors who are trying to get a song for a scene, going through all of that is a headache. And let alone, you know, the money that they're gonna spend to get that cleared. Whereas someone like me, I write my stuff, I create my own stuff. There's only me. That's it. That's all you gotta get clearance from. So, you know, getting that, it's easier for them to do so. I mean, if your music is good, it's easier for them to do so and give you that bag versus having to go through all those different steps. As it relates to executives and the labels and stuff like that, I mean, I know, man, that thing is tricky. I mean, I feel like you hear so many stories about people signing this and not making a lot of money because this person need this cut, this person need that cut, this person need that cut, this person need that cut. It's tricky. I mean, in understanding, you know, what you're looking at to sign and having the right people like lawyers and, you know, people who understand that verbiage is important. So the label thing is tricky, is what I would say.
No, that's interesting because just like I asked you earlier, if you prefer recording by yourself or doing with other people, is it the same with all the other stuff you do, like engineering your own music, making your own lyrics, and making the beats? Do you prefer doing everything in house, like all by yourself?
Well, for me, I collaborate with folks that I'm close with to make like beats and co-produce and stuff. I do think that music collaboration is needed because, you know, having one perspective on something may not get you where you want to get to. So I feel like collaboration is needed, having someone with the beats, having another engineer, and just having different ears on it and putting that formula together and making one product is important. So that's how I go about my music. So I don't necessarily just do everything by myself. I like to get or be in a collaborative type of environment. I think that's where the magic happens.
Give me one example of a time where like that actually was in your benefit, where like you found someone else's perspective and then you're like, oh, like, you know, let me try that.
I mean, one time that comes to mind, I was in Fort Lauderdale with my boys, with two of my boys making a song. We were just like, let's go to the studio and just vibe and see what's up. And, you know, I was singing the hook them boys were doing, like, two other guys were doing a verse. And I'm coming up with stuff and, you know, coming up with the melodies and stuff like that. And maybe I get stuck on a word or two words or whatever, a phrase. And, you know, they're providing the input on that, you know, really got me past that hump. And just doing that collaborative, bouncing ideas off of each other. And if I was by myself, it would be a thing like I'd be just going back and forth. Well, what should I say here? What should I say there? What should I, you know, and then I would be spinning my cycles on just like two words, and maybe I might get discouraged. Versus if I'm with other folks and it's like, yo, I got this, what do you think about that? And then they'd be like, oh, you should say this here and there. Then boom, it's easier, right? Because you got multiple opinions, and then you can choose what you feel is best for you. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you guys are all putting into that one piece of art. So it's easier, I would say, and more fun to create that way versus just being in silo by yourself all the time.
What was something that made you want to give up? And then what made you not give up?
I mean, I feel like there were times where I just couldn't find somebody that understood the type of beats and the type of vibe I wanted. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like, maybe this shit ain't meant for me, maybe.
Did you want something like completely new that you just created, or?
Yeah, new and different. Like, you know, in the beginning, it was hard for me to articulate in a musical sense the song that I wanted to get. It was hard, so it's like maybe they weren't understanding what I want. Maybe what I wanted wasn't like the norm, and I was like, man, you know, forget this, whatever. It's hard. I'm paying all this. And again, music is expensive. You know, to do different things on a certain level, it's costly. So if you're gonna be putting in money, you want to see return on your investment. Any business person wants to see that. So going through these different things and not getting what you want, at some point in time, I was like, man, this shit's expensive. Is it really worth it? That type of stuff. But then I took things into my own hand. Like I get my own shit. Like I bought my own stuff. I started learning my own things. Like I just pumped out a song here today in my house. Whereas if I went to the studio and tried to work with somebody, it would be $250 for like 2 hours or something, or 3 hours or whatever. And I might have not finished that song. Where I could just do my own shit, learn my own stuff, and do my own thing, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there were times when I felt like, yeah, is it worth it? But then I just had to find different ways to get what I want. Nothing in life you want is going to be easy. You got to put in time, you got to put in work, and you got to think smart. Work smart, not hard, is what I like to think.
You said that you were born, like, in the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still, like, what was it, Catholic, Christian, or?
Baptist church.
Baptist? Are you still into that stuff right now?
You know, I would say that I have a personal relationship with God. I'm spiritual. But in terms of like going to church every day or every Sunday and stuff like that, like I don't do that.
I was gonna ask if you're spiritual because I see you got
you got the crystal and all that stuff. Yeah.
You believe in that stuff? Like crystal?
Well, yeah. I mean, this one is a lapis lazuli. You know, it's a throat chakra.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an artist, obviously. You know, I use my voice and all that stuff. But
you tell lies? You're a lie? I know about that stuff.
I feel like how people lie, but you know. But yeah, no, I'm into that type of stuff.
You know what's funny? Because they say that the throat chakra gets blocked when you tell lies, right?
Yeah.
So I have this theory where like girls like to get choked because they like to lie a lot. So it's like when you choke them, it's like you're like opening the throat.
I like that. I'm gonna use that one.
And you tell your girl what like wants to like get choked, you're like, oh, it's because you lie.
Oh, she's a liar. I like that.
Well, what were you saying about
Yeah, no, I'm spiritual. I have a personal relationship with God. I mean, obviously I pray every day and all that stuff. But you know, I'm not like I don't go to church like every Sunday and all that stuff like that. But you know, I'm not like a religious, but I'm spiritual. Yeah.
Because so you believe in like manifestation and like
definitely. speak it into existence. If I want something, I'm gonna speak about it, and then I'm gonna get it. It could take me a month, 2 months, whatever, but put it in my mind. That's what I expect, and that's what I envision, and that's what I go and get.
What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
I was thinking you're either Gemini or Taurus.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini. Gemini.
Every time that Liz like links me with someone, it's always Gemini.
Yeah. Gemini. Yep.
But so you believe in like magic and stuff?
Magic in what sense?
Like miracles, stuff like that.
I believe in miracles. Yes. Magic. I don't know which. I mean, I guess everyone calls it different. I believe in miracles. I believe in you pray for things and it happens. I believe you pray for the impossible and it can happen. I believe like the impossible can happen.
I'm not talking about like spells, like shooting ice.
Some Harry Potter shit. Nah.
You ever taken like psychedelics or anything?
Psychedelics?
Yeah.
If I ever taken any?
Yeah.
Nah, I've never. I took shrooms before.
It was psychedelic.
But it didn't do nothing for me. It didn't make me feel like I expected it to make me feel. Like I was expecting to be like seeing little green men like just fucking floating around in the air and shit like that.
That's what a lot of people say.
But I ain't had that experience. I would like to have that experience, but I haven't had that experience.
I feel like you gotta like. There's something called breaking through where like, you gotta do enough of it that it breaks, like, because we have like walls.
Yeah. I mean, I'm strong-minded. I like to be in control of my mind. I like to be in control of my thoughts. So maybe that affected the way that it affected me. But I haven't had that experience though.
Cause I've heard like stuff like that before. When I did it, it hit like.
It hit you one time, boom.
But the reason I asked about like those spirituality and the magic and stuff is because like the way I see things is like, because I kind of believe in magic, but not like the like Harry Potter shit, whatever, but more like there's a magic in, like you plant a seed in the earth and then all of a sudden it goes from like this little tiny thing to like a tree, and like a woman is pregnant and all of a sudden it's a whole human being, you know. So it's like there's a force that's moving that. So what you said about being in the studio, making stuff on your own versus being in the studio and paying for something, it made me think about a type of magic where it's like, just because of the fact that you're putting that money and that effort and having all the energies of other people around you, you might not see it right now, but in the future they might come back, like a boomerang.
Full circle.
Because I'm the same way as you. Like I prefer to record at my crib by myself. Like I don't really like recording.
Yeah.
But now I'm like getting to the mindset of like, you know what? There's something about having all your friends and paying, like the act of giving that money to the person, that you're gonna see some type of, like, you're gonna see a return. Like just like when you plant the seed, you're not gonna get it the next day, but in like a couple of months you get the harvest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I want to hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like in life, give, in the Bible or in the songs, and at least in the church, give and it shall be given back to you. Good measure, shake down, press it together, or whatever, all that stuff. Like, I'm a giving person by nature. But, if you give, it definitely comes back to you. So I could get what you're saying in that sense. But the thing that I always think about is going back to, it's hard to find people that you could rely on. So if I'm giving my money to be in a studio or for someone to engineer my stuff, and it's like you're not being reliable, that affects my energy. It affects how I'm thinking. It affects how I approach the song. It affects how I operate within the studio. And once that shit is fucked with, then I can't give my best self. I want to be in an environment where it's comfortable. I want to be in an environment where we on the same page, we're on the same wavelength, and it's like, all right, yeah, I'm paying my money, but we still have an understanding that, yeah, we trying to cook this magic up, and it's like, we vibing. Because you could pay people for shit and it's like they just want to get the money, and they don't care about the outcome. They're just here to, all right, let me press this button, let me do this, and let me do that. And the vibe is not going to be there and the magic is not going to happen. So that's what I would say.
I apologize for cutting you off, but can you ever see yourself on the other side of that?
Yeah. I feel like if I'm providing a service to somebody, especially something like a music service, I want to understand that person. I want to get to know that person. I want to get to know what are we trying to accomplish, and just understand that on a deeper level to see, well, how can I contribute to this energy-wise to make this as comfortable and as, an experience for this person that I'm providing this service to. Because that's what's going to bring out the best in that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be just transactional. I mean, obviously, you got to get paid for your service, but if I care about what my work sounds like to somebody else, it should be that collaborative type of stuff. I would treat it as if it's my own, because it is my own. If I'm producing, if I'm engineering, like, at the end of the day, my name going on this stuff. So if I was on the other side, that's how I would approach it. And that's how I would want somebody to approach it for me.
So do you ever see yourself recording other people? Like being other people?
I've been in there. In the beginning, I've been recording other people. I've been engineering other people before.
You do it for money?
I've never done it for money. I just do it.
Can you see yourself doing that full time?
I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be that. I like being the voice. I like being, making the stuff.
I feel like you'd be a good engineer.
I think so, because I'm very meticulous. I'm very, programmatic. I think I could be a good engineer. I'm not gonna lie, but I like to express myself. I like to.
Were you looking for precise? Like precise?
I could be precise as well.
Because I remember my boy, he would tell me like, one guy that was engineering for him, he's like, yo, he's like a surgeon. He's like going in there, like chopping up
cutting up stuff, yeah.
Especially, you like to use autotune. So when you're using autotune, a lot of times you gotta go in there and look at for each note. Like how do you do that?
Well, I don't. So in terms of the engineering piece, I leave that up to my boy now, because I just like to come in, I spit what I record whatever I'm feeling, and we like do screen sharing and stuff like that. And it's like he's the one that's like going in, mixing, master, all that type of stuff. Me, I'm just being free, because I feel like too, at the end of the day, it's good to have different roles in the process, so you can focus just on the role that you are focusing on, or you could provide your best. Obviously, I provide my input. Obviously, there's times when I do my thing, but I found somebody that I'm like, we've been vibing and it's good.
Do you ever feel yourself, so you focus on one thing? You ever find it hard to one day you pick up something and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try this?
No, I don't think I get scatterbrained. I'm very, I know how to allot time. I'm good with time management. I know how to structure myself to where if I want to focus on something, I can spend a certain amount of time in the day doing that, spend another amount of time in the day doing something else, and so forth and so forth. So I'm not like all over the place type stuff. I have pretty good control when it comes to that.
You have like for your life, do you have everything scheduled, or is everything just like...
I have schedule. I have things scheduled. I have my life planned out. I have goals planned. But sometimes I leave it. Sometimes I just move free-spirited. Like, I feel like I got a good balance on that. Like, I'm not just going to leave everything just to, free-spirit shit. Like, things got to get done at the end of the day, but I feel like I have a good balance. Yeah.
So give me 5 things that you want to manifest by the end of the year.
End of the year, songs, at least 2 of my songs in the movie and TV show, that big movie, big TV show. That's 2. End of the year, I'm touring on some big stages, maybe opening for some big names. That's 3. By the end of the year, being recognized, on a global stage, not just in like Florida or in the VI where I'm from. Like, I'm talking in multiple countries. They know my name, they know my songs. And then at the end of the year, I'm making enough money from music to where I could sustain myself and all the things that I have. So those are my 5 different things that I'm manifesting.
Now give me 5 things that you're grateful for.
In life or just in music?
In life.
I'm grateful for life in general, because every day somebody dying. The world is crazy right now. It's just crazy. So I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my parents. I have both my parents still today. I got my little baby girl. I got a daughter. I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful for my family, my friends, my support system. Like I said, I got acquaintances, but it's a few like close friends that I got. And I'm grateful that I'm able to, do what I love in terms of being able to pay to make music, being able to, sing, being able to do these different things that I love doing, because, it's a struggle for some people. Maybe they don't have the money to go ahead to record. Maybe they don't have the money to, buy equipment and all these things. But God has blessed me with, these things to be able to do so and express myself. So I'm grateful for that as well. Yeah.
Nice. When's your birthday?
23rd, May 23rd, just passed actually.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Gemini.
yeah. Because I just realized your birthday must have been like recently.
Yeah, May 23rd.
What do you do for it? Like, do you usually celebrate it?
Well, I didn't do anything crazy. I mean, I normally do celebrate, but I was filming for this TV show that I'm gonna be on. So
can you talk about it?
Not really, but it's a show. It's gonna be on our own network. So
Oprah's network?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I can't talk about it yet, but when it comes out, then I'll be able to speak about it more. Okay.
Is there like a certain role that you're playing, or is it like a reality TV
A reality show, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything? Okay. If someone's gonna listen to your music right now, and they're gonna become a fan of yours, what 3 songs should they listen to?
Well, first of all, you want to listen to No Games. It's gonna give you the sensual Afro beats type of vibe. This song that's coming out on the 24th, summer song called Like So. It's gonna give you like that island party, island vibe. Reminds you of, if you've been to any islands, it will remind you of that type of vibe. And then there's a song called Good Vibes Only that I have. It's just like, there's so many crazy stuff going on in the world. Like, I'm big on energy. I want to protect my energy. I want to be around good vibes. I want to be around people that are going to uplift my spirit. So that song is really talking about just being in that space. Like, if you got that negative energy and negative vibe, like, I don't got time for that shit. Like, you could do you. I'm good. Good vibes only. So those would be the 3 songs that I would say listen to.
That you hear that? Go check it out.
Yeah, man.
What is your favorite thing about being an artist?
Being able to express myself in ways that other people can't, that they may want to. I mean, I feel like on a track, I could say what I want. I could tell you exactly how I feel. Maybe I say it in a poetic way. I say it in an artistic way. That is more palatable. But at the end of the day, I could express myself. That's kind of like a release for me. Versus, somebody maybe who doesn't have that, and they have to find other ways to decompress or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, facts. What's the most toxic sign?
Toxic? I mean, breakups are toxic, in different relationships and then going through breakups and
You just say Geminis.
yeah. Listen, nah.
Yeah, Gemini, you should already know that you're. What were you saying?
Yeah, nah. Breakups, I would say. Going through different things, and that's when you obviously you start to make the music about how you feel. Although it's toxic, it comes out, expressing again, going back to expressing yourself through the music and all this stuff. It's definitely an outlet to help you feel, better and stuff like that. So.
You never said what sign is toxic.
Huh?
You didn't say the toxic sign.
The toxic sign?
Yeah.
Or side?
Oh, what do you think I said?
I thought you said side. Or toxic sign. What's a toxic sign?
Yo, the most toxic sign.
Oh,
so
the most toxic sign?
Yeah, Gemini.
Shit. Everybody said Geminis, I guess. We got two personalities. We got the good, upstanding person, then we got the bad, like daredevil type of don't care, whatever.
I think you guys are all bad.
Nah, I mean, I got the business guy, I got the wild guy, I got the corporate guy, and I got the musician. That's how it is for me.
That's actually dope. Like I just realized that.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. So if that's toxic, it is what it is.
I feel that.
Yeah, man.
So what advice would you give to someone who's starting music right now? They don't really know what to do to get to the next level.
Do your research. We're in 2022. There's a lot of tutorials and advice out there, YouTube, all that stuff. But also just do what comes natural to you. Don't try to mimic somebody else. There could only be one you. There could only be one Young Thug. There could only be one Drake. Like, you don't need to be mimicking these people, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, maybe you can have a hit, but then how long would that last, right? You're going to just be somebody else. That songs like Drake, you want to make your own lane and do your own shit. So just be you. Use the internet to your advantage to learn from everyone else's mistakes. And yeah, that's what I would say.
For sure. You have anyone that you want to shout out?
I shout out, Sage and Whiskey. She sells the stones and all that stuff. She'll get you right. If you're all about the crystals and energy and the vibes, check her out on IG, Sage and Whiskey.
Right. Did you get those from her too?
Yeah.
What are those?
Those are different crystals. I don't know what these are called, but yeah, she could hook you up with that. And I'll shout out my boy Marcus. Mark Bernard is my guy. We make music together. We got a few songs together. But he's doing his thing. He's, rocking shows and all this stuff right now. So check him out. Check out his music. Mark Bernard. And yeah, man, those are the people I would shout out right now.
Shout out to Liz too.
Oh yeah, shout out to Liz. She hooks it up. She gets you right. So yeah, we gonna continue to work together and make this shit happen.
Is she managing you too?
Nah, she's not managing me, but she's helping me with a few different things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And where can they find you at?
You can find me Instagram, LJ_Smooth Music. You'll find me Facebook, LJ Smooth Music, Twitter, LJ_Smooth Music, YouTube, same thing, LJ Smooth. Stream all my stuff. I got some stuff coming out here on the 24th for summertime, some island vibes, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, follow me and you'll see me on TV soon. Yeah.
Check it out on Opens Network. And tell me real quick before we end it, why did you change the name LJ Smooth?
I mean, I've always been kind of like a cool cat, growing up, or even in college as well. People just call me Smooth. I dress a certain way, I move a certain way, and the name just stuck. So that's the name I went with, Smooth. LJ, so I'm a junior. My pops and I, we got the same first name, so LJ, and it just adds Smooth. So that's how I came up with that artist name.
I like it. Alright, so it's been 6 feet with the one and only LJ Smooth.
Yeah.